we need to get this due together. Hello, my butterflies. This is a mess. We in Vegas and we're about to get it together so we can go to dinner. But first, we're gonna get these lips together because I need some chapstick. Do y'all know what a chapstick is? Probably not. Let me grab my purse. I got some good old stuff right here. That would be lotion. Okay. Ain't nothing changed. I'm still all over the place. Still don't know what I'm doing with my life. And the best person to lead you is the person that's going through it. Because how about that? They can actually give you some advice. You're ready to get this due together? Let's go. I think I'm gonna do like the halo. I think I'm gonna do a halo because it's hotter than Jerusalem out here and we need to get together. Now, I thought this style was like really, really hard. It's not. It's just about where you like place your braids. So, the lesson for today is to live your best life. Let's take this off because I don't want to hook my hair and then be, snatching my edges out. Put some, I use Main Choice. You guys know that already. Because these edges, they got to get together. And don't worry about my nail. Of course, I broke it right before I came out here. And y'all know I was still working. Thus trying to party like a rock star and be up on time for meetings. But baby, I did it. You know why? Because ain't nobody got time to be losing their job and ruining their life. So you could party and live your best life, but you got to take care of responsibilities. And I could say that as an adult, like the kind that pay their own bills and stuff like that. And as a younger adult, child, I wasn't playing with my money. None of my group was. We did not play when it came to our money. So even if we, I'm gonna fix that. Even if we went out and stuff, baby, and I think you're supposed to do your braid a little bit loose. So when you halo it, like you pull out pieces if you want to and stuff like that to make it look a little bit thicker. Because what I have found with this curly hair is that sometimes it looks like really, really thick, but then you see how the braid is like thinner. When you actually go to, when you actually go to do something like this, it's really thin. But I kind of understand because when you're it's a lit incense right there, and baby, I almost just caught myself on fire. I can't with myself. I can't. When you go to do something to it, like wear your hair down, it looks all pretty, but it's really hard for your hair to breathe. And that's what why I would presume that they make it a little bit thinner. They make it a little bit thinner. Get those edges in there. So listen, it's been like a little bit of a whirlwind, and I'm sure that it is for everybody, but y'all remember when I said I started my channel so that I could, number one, be the virtual TT for everybody and teach you guys like some of the lessons that I've learned in life while going through stuff and whatnot. But guess what, y'all? That don't stop you from still going through more stuff. And so, like, it's a transition period sometimes going through things, and you got to allow yourself that time to go through those things. Because I am already an extrovert, it makes it a little, and somebody that people look at as the strong person or whatever that means. When I go through things, I usually go through it like by myself, and I separate myself and all that good regular stuff that they tell you not to do. So then you take the braid and you wrap it around the top. I want to sit mine back a little bit because I'm going to pull it out, but I want to be able to see some of my part. I really want it to look like an actual halo. See, bring it over to this side. And I really like these with curly hair. I like to go through things by myself and figure it out and work it out, and then, you know, call in help or whatever, you know, people that can help you through what you're going through. That is not even. I think this is because this is too low. I'm gonna have to do this one over. Because this is the way I feel, okay? This is the way I feel. There are some people that do care about you, even in your immediate circle. I think that people's capacity to care for you and what you're going through, sometimes, depending on the person, I'm gonna move this up. Dusty's gonna move this up. Oh, actually, let's take this out. Their capacity to care for you and what you're going through, I think that it sometimes has to do with what they're going through, especially these days, because everybody wants to live this social media, I'm so perfect, you know, everything is grand life, when the reality is that ain't reality. You know, it's not always easy, and I don't really care what age you are. I think that people want to help you. They want to be good people, quote unquote. But based on like some things that I've been through, and I've seen people behave a certain kind of way, I think that there we go. Their ability, perfect. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cute. Their ability to even have the capacity to care about what you're going through is based on if they're going through something and how bad what they are going through is. Because I've noticed that some people kind of, they're waiting for your karma or whatever you're going through. They're sometimes waiting for it to come to you, which I don't think is appropriate. I'm not really sure about how that goes. I'm gonna really need to read about that, read up on that. But from my understanding, or the way I would think about it is, I'm gonna take this piece out. If you're waiting for somebody to go through their karma, isn't that creating like bad karma for you? Because you're wanting somebody to hurt or go through something? What you think? I don't think that it's appropriate to want somebody to go through something, but I think that some people are that way. So they want the best for you, as long as it's not, gotta pull some of these pieces out. We used to call them attitude pieces. They want you to have the best life possible, but they also, sometimes depending on what they're going through, they kind of look at their situation like, well, why is their situation better? Why did this happen to me instead of happening to them? And I think that a lot of people think that way. I think that is very unfortunate, but I think that a lot of people think that way. So when they see that you're going through something, if they're in a good place, they're like, oh, I feel so bad for you. You know, let me help you. I'm here if you need me, type of thing, right? But then if they're going through something, then they kind of want somebody to go through stuff with them. I think that's cute. They kind of want somebody to go through stuff with them, which to me is completely insane, because I think that for the most part, what I've been through recently is like regular stuff. So we don't want to face, you know, the fact that it's life and death. Everything, there's an opposite to it, right? So with my cousin passing away and all these different things that are happening, my mom being in the hospital, now I have to have a third back surgery. Those, to me, if I had to choose between what I'm going through and what I know other people are going through or what could happen, I'm going to choose my life every day, all day. I don't care if it's problems in my marriage, because those are regular. If it's problems with my health, if it's problems at work, those are regular things that happen every day. Now, somebody that gets in a car accident and then they don't walk out of that car accident, like those are the extreme things, right? So I'm very analytical, and I try not to think with my emotion first, because if you let your emotions run away, it's gonna be bad, because all you're thinking is what a logical person would think. We're normal human beings. I'm doing all these wonderful things. I'm trying to be this good person. I'm trying to make good decisions. Why is everything not falling into place for me? Well, falling into place how? Because, you know, you got to think about things like in the middle of a pandemic, I started my career with the company that I had been trying to get into since I graduated high school. And now I'm actually joining the company after I got a degree and walked into a really good situation and a really good position. Now I feel like my degree is paying off, you know, where for 13 years I was like, this ain't it. Like, what am I going to do to make this better? Okay. I would choose my life all day, every day, if I had to choose between my life and what some other people are going through. Now, here's the emotional part that I had to crank up therapy for. The reality is, even though if you compare apples to apples or apples to oranges, I'm going to choose the life that I have, it still doesn't make it easier to go through when you're going through it, right? So something like the back surgery, that hurts my feelings because it's back surgery number 3, and I really followed all of the rules and cut off a lot of things in my life that I really liked. And so because I followed all the rules, I just can't imagine why this 3rd back surgery is back and it's worse than the other 2. So that I have to accept, right? I have to look at things like, at least my husband has really good medical insurance, so this is not something that I'm like, well, dang, I need this, but I can't afford to have it, or I don't have insurance, where that could be the case for some people. I have a really good physician, okay? Then we have the other side where my mom was in the hospital a year, almost to the date later, she went back to the hospital again. And it's scary because those are things that are out of your control. What I had to look at in that situation is, but this time I could see my mom, right? So we caught it a lot sooner. She went to the hospital because she already had the test and everything from before. And see how fast that style was, by the way. Because she already had the test before, when we went in, it was just like, hey, you guys look at this stuff and go from there. COVID is not on it's still a big deal, but not like when she went in before. She literally went in when the shutdown started. So it was no seeing her for 2 months, right? So I had to step back like, no, this doesn't feel good. Yes, I'm still afraid. It's okay to be afraid. I'm still afraid, but I could see my mom, I could talk to her, she's not on oxygen. Like, I had to start listing out the pros because the cons were really taking over. I know I shared with you guys before, like one of the things that I used to think is that I was cursed because my grandmother committed suicide, and I thought it was for a different reason than what it was. So until I turned 30 something, I thought that I was cursed, I was never gonna find love, like all of this stuff, right? Because your brain could tell you things, and with the information that you have, you make your best assessment. And it's not always a healthy one, but again, if you're trying to make sense out of things so you can deal with it and accept it, which is what I try to do, you just try to put all your ducks in a row that you have and move from there, right? Is it always a good thing? It's not. It's not always the best thing. What I can tell you, it provided me the ability to still keep going. And everybody is different. You can't do what I'm telling you I did, but you can think, oh, do I think like Asia? Okay, if I think like Asia, let me try this. I suggest always to get a therapist, because your therapist can analyze you, tell you what you're like, and then you kind of step back and say, you know what, this is what I think, and this is what I think is best for me. And then you talk about it with your therapist. It's nothing that's going on in my life that I don't tell my therapist. even the things between me and my husband, between me and myself. I have to tell her everything because I built that relationship with her now, that now we just talk regular. And I even told her, look, if you don't cuss, I can't trust you. So it's just like talking to one of my girlfriends. That has alleviated the space of me feeling like, well, is this person going through something? Are they going to receive what I'm saying that I need help with? Or are they going to handle it from a place where, with their feelings? Are they going to help me to the level of their understanding? Or are they going to be able to separate it and help me or give me advice or listen to me based on what I need? Not everybody's able to do that. That's just reality. But a trained professional who doesn't know anything about you, they usually can do a little bit better. But I'm able to do those things. I had to step back from being so damn analytical though, because it was causing me to like create this wall, right? So I didn't want to feel because I'm hyper emotional. So I'm an empath, I'm hyper emotional. I could cry at the drop of a dime because I feel what somebody is telling me. So I had to learn to separate that because it was weighing on me, especially in my profession in HR. But I had to put things where they belong, even though I'm in the same place that I was in last year and then a couple years before. Financially, I am not. Being able to have peace in the midst of a storm, I can. Do I still have my bad days? Yes. Do I have my really bad days? Yes. And I allow myself to have those days. And I allow myself to have those days in my space. But what it has caused me to do is the things that I really like sitting in front of a camera and just talking and sharing those things because somebody needs to hear it. It was crazy because no matter how much somebody reached out to me or said to do this, that, or the other, even B-Love, I took what she said and I would get off the phone like, yep, I could do it. Okay, I'm ready. I would really record. I'm telling y'all, I have recordings. And then I would either look back at the recording and be like, I could see straight through myself. And not that what I was saying, it was anything wrong with it. I'm actually going to release them. But in looking at it, I was then feeling emotional because I was hearing it back. It's hard to look at your own stuff and edit it because when you're talking, you're just talking, right? But when you listen to it back, you're like, dang girl, you okay? So I had a lot of dang girl, you okay moments. And so it's just a little interesting. But I do plan on getting back to my recording at least once or twice a week. Yes, I have edges and yes, I have hair. Once or twice a week because this is my happy space. And I need to get back to, now that I'm in the place of understanding a little bit about different things that are going on, and I've moved into that, I think I've plateaued and it can't hurt no more. I'm ready to start feeding myself. And by feeding myself, I mean getting back to the things that I like to do that serve a purpose. When you're a servant leader, like doing things like this, sorry y'all, a servant leader doing things like this, it does feed your soul to give back. But if your soul is hurting, I know that some people could get on camera, completely like break down. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. They completely break down, tell you how they're feeling. Somebody needed to hear that message. And so it's okay. For me, do I want to do that? I actually don't. Those recordings that you guys have seen me cry or something like that, you've seen me cut that part out. I probably cried 30 minutes in between there, had to fix my makeup and then come back, because when your soul is hurting, baby, when your soul is hurting, that kind of cry, that's the ugly cry. That's the cry where it's like, if you put the two pictures beside themselves, you like, who is that? Because even without makeup, they don't even look like that person because they're hurting. My advice would be, if you need therapy, I know we're coming out of the pandemic, and I found that people, now that we're coming out of the pandemic, and I think that was true for me, it was like the, and then all the feelings came, right? Because when you're in it, you got to deal with it. And it's like, well, for me, I'm like, okay, what's the solution? What's the plan? What do we do? Now that we're kind of coming out of it and going back into life a little bit, I'm accepting the things that I missed. I'm accepting the people that I missed. I'm accepting that I went through a lot of things by myself because I still work, my husband still works, and then other people have their burdens. So I really didn't talk about a lot of things that I was going through or what I was feeling with people. But it's time to get ready, because now that we are coming out of the pandemic, your emotions probably are going to come out. All that bottled up stuff that you had is probably going to come out. And so if you need to inbox me and talk to me, even if I cry with you, I'll be there for you. I'll offer you the best advice that I can offer. Some will be based on my training. Some will be based on my HR logical brain. And then some will be just strictly based on the Bible. And if we need to pray together, I'll do it. Whatever it is that you need, if it's a normal need, because I got some pretty strange messages, y'all. I will do my best to help as long as it is normal stuff, okay? But that is it. I just wanted to jump on real quick and do my hair so we could get ready to go out to dinner. I am starving. And then that is it. And so on my next video, you'll be seeing me do my makeup. I'm doing natural because we're in Vegas and I don't want my eyebrows to slide down my face. But that is it. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you all are enjoying and staying safe with the things that we're able to do now. Do things to your level of comfort. Even if all of your friends are doing something different and you really want to do it, but you're just not feeling it, having panic attacks and whatnot, don't do it. Do everything when you're ready. If you need to talk to somebody, my first suggestion is always a professional. If not, get with somebody that's a little bit older that can talk to you, that you trust. You can inbox me and we can talk. And that is it. And you guys know that my information is down below. So that is it for me. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ignore my missing finger. Ain't it something, if like you missing a finger, you use that finger and all of that? I don't care if it's my middle finger, I'll use it. I mean, not to use it like that. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, I have to hurry up because I'm always the one that's late, but that's why I drive my own car. That way I don't have to worry. So that is it. Have a good week, because this is going to come out on Monday. Have a good week, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye, butterflies, goodbye. Goodbye, butterflies, goodbye. Goodbye.